Alright. Very nice, by the way. Okay, so this is at least an ending where Luca dies. We can, of course, refuse Iggy's request.
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket.
Honestly, that should be quick because I feel like that will just result in a big freeze. Giving a streaming timeline today would have been hilarious. Actual end.
A wild
Yes.
light crept onto Mr. Kerr's face.
And honestly, this is so much fun, I wouldn't mind a sequel one bit. Or a series of sequels.
That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time. But Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away.
The
A
founder?
swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face.
The founder. I mean, the founder should be Sharper Valentine.
The end. I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
See? I made a good choice. Okay. I'm still... Okay, it still haunts me that with that first choice we made to accept Iggy's offer and let them both drop down the pit. At the final text we had some glowing letters. I think it was the Roman number 2, then 2 blank lines, or like 2 lines, and the word charm. I wonder what that's all about. Okay, so the only other place we have other choices is here. So we're back to the branch we were before, where we investigated the warehouse alone, struggled, smashed the person in the hazmat suit with a brick or something, and smashed their mask. Became friends with Beck, and Beck, Rolo, and us are investigating Grant's secret. Okay, we're gonna be a chill cop or the sly cop. Let's try being the chill cop first, because that's the charm we already had. Sly is a relatively new one.
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
Classic. I'll handle this. Just gotta play it cool. Oh. So this time Luca will handle their interrogation, and I bet when we choose Sly, Beck will be the one interrogating.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bell
He
rung.
looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Jacob is pretty funny considering we're dealing with a freezing town. True. Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. This was all a big mistake. Luca, what's going on here? Why do we have me strapped down? No one's fault, really. Rolo just got a little startled. Rolo's here?
Rolo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, alright. Mistakes happen. Kids gave old Hiram a good scare. Let's just get me out of these ropes and call it even.
Luca glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mr. Tolliver, why are you in my grand's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's my gran up to? If you'll just cut me loose, I can show you. How do I know we can trust you?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luca, have I ever done wrong by you? No. And since your gran moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah? So why would I turn my back on your family now? It's just... all this stuff seems pretty weird. A board with names of people from town? An archive of my dad's old disturbing patient notes?
Luca gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives? I can explain everything. You just need to untie me. You kids deserve an explanation.
Luca looked again to Rollo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
Kids are supposed to question even nice adults' motivation if they start acting in a weird way. Yep. That's a good lad. Oh yeah. This will all make sense in time. He's gonna bolt and lock us up in the basement.
He edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke.
You see, this town has secrets, Luca. A very dark past indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
A past that must be brought
He
to...
punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
light. Son of a... Yep, he locks us in. But that might actually save our ass because the big freeze is gonna happen. We're gonna be in the basement and I assume we're gonna be safe. And then we can probably get out and investigate the frozen town.
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rollo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down here.
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. You kids just keep tight down there. And let the adults handle this.
They looked bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end. Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement.
Really? Just nothing? I mean, I guess you could say, but Pexy, the door is locked. How is it just magically going to open once the big freeze happens? Well, dang, could have been an option. Sue me. Why is he dancing quickstep? There's an end of the world to prevent. Shaking my head.
Back to the drawing
That's
board.
true. Alright, at least that was quick. Okay. The Sly Cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task. With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
Whoa. What's going on here? You're not Moldville girl. Please, call me back. Sorry about all
Mr.
this.
Tulliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect the child? Who would suspect the kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tulliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tulliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So, it turns out we're both here
Beck
to...
twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tulliver to finish her thought.
destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep. The old girl is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tulliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her though. If anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. Okay, yes. No one would ever know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tulliver like a fiddle.
You sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There's one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing really. The other day I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shelf. And wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an old phrase in the Imperial Harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and nowhere to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work that out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. But you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tulliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf. But all he ever sells us is apples!
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rolo. Well, sure. But once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried? Covered? Could it be cover up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies. So U would be 21, N would be 14, D would be... Oh, it's an anagram. Nuncrate's drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rollo with amazement.
Dude, that was impressive. Rollo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Kren's new drugstore. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. We better go to the... Oh, come on. Can I not visit the fake grave of my father? Hello, Missy. You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. Okay, since we have a couple more charms, let me check. Haha!
Luca tied a bent nail onto the line. If all you have is a hammer...
A picture? It's a photo of you and Uncle Joseph. Let me see that. Huh. Look at those two young fools. How did it end up in that? How did it end up in at the bottom of the pond? Who can say? Some things are just hard to explain. I miss Uncle Joseph. How come he doesn't come fishing with us anymore? He's busy with his new job at Valentine's. Okay, so Joseph was Mr. Nuncrete, right? What's the new job got to do with him fishing with us? It's complicated. Like I said, some things are hard to explain. We caught all the fish. Well, that's quite a haul. Feels like a good time to pack up. Yeah, I mean, if I'm getting this right, if I'm not confusing people and names again, but I think I remember Joseph was the guy who was supposed to do the lab results, and they said that Joseph was Mr. Nuncrete, so... just a little bit longer. If things lasted forever, they might not feel as special, huh? I guess. I'll make you a deal, Buckaroo. Yeah, and Nuncrete is drooling off the juniper. Yikes. Who might be Luca's mom? If you ever feel like you need to talk about anything at all, you just say, let's go fishing, and I'll know what you mean. Like a secret password? Yeah, top secret. Neat. Okay. Dang it. I really found that, and the railing here would give me a charm eventually. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down before the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is this insipid town festival really about?
Gus looked around nervously.
I think Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. Nope. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what current and perennial harvest true intentions are with this town. Oh, you mean that there's basically 3 places where you can potentially get the chill charm, and wherever is the first one you actually chill at, you get it? Is that your theory, Catilla? That's of course a possibility. To have multiple places where you can get one and the same charm. At least for some of them. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Got it. Was. Excuse me? That was our father's town. He's gone, Eris. And he isn't coming back. Makes sense though, since Chill is the one you need to get past Roxy. And if you have 3 places where you can find it, it's much more likely that players are actually having it until they get there. Because you were wondering last stream what happens if you don't have Chill when you encounter Roxy. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Carr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree that I'm turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That is just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damned backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change, whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future? Or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus. But you'll always just be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. It's getting late, children. Knowledge, he spat with a sneer. Eris has a really cool design too. I mean, all of the characters have awesome designs. There exists a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. I do hate it when a villain makes a good point. Alright, what's our current objective? Investigate non-concrete structure. Okay. Sorry. Yes, I like to go to all the other places to see if I can get something else. Find something else, do something else. Gotta spec the melon first. Okay, not here. What about the diner? I mean, I'm pretty sure I can't enter it. At this... Yeah, I can go here, but I cannot enter it from sure. Yeah. The thing is, I haven't tried going back into the diner and doing more orders in a while. Who's your favorite bandit? Out investigating.
Solomon stood
Hey,
proudly
you,
at
Solomon.
the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nancrete. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get the candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on. Licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice. But whatever floats your boat. Or maybe Solomon? I had the theory earlier that Sharper Valentine was de-aged by the green goo or something like that. You know, our Luca's mother was aged and came back as Gran, and I had the theory a while ago. The Chocolate Valentine would be de-aged. I thought maybe Kerr was him, but I mean that's out the window. But what if Solomon is a de-aged Chocolate Valentine? Then it would make sense why he had in his will to that the heirs were to adopt some random kiddo. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. And like, he doesn't sound like a 12-year kid. Yeah, I guess. I like Sorgops. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Duncreed kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold, hard cash. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. Come on, it's gonna be the phone booth, is it? Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Duncreed? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
This is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Gren's new drugstore! I mean, underground secrets. The password.
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Alright, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great. Now what? I guess we...
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell.
We had that before.
Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it. You knew that there was a strange secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the trans-dimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue 12 were real? I think you said that at some point. I just don't remember if it was in this timeline or not. Rolo, at one point or another, you've said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. It looks like each of these has something written on them. Okay, the thing is, I am so sorry. It's past 7 and I have to get going. I feel like we're this close to the end and I'm really sorry, but we have to finish it for here for the day. I'm so sorry, it's the worst place to ever end it. This is the worst place. I'm really sorry. We have to get back to this as soon as possible.